Alright, we're going to do a session of Capoeira Acrobatics. So I'm not going to be doing the traditional basics of Capoeira in terms of Jenga, in terms of Skiva, things of this nature. It's going to be mainly geared toward acrobatics. And the first acrobatic I'm going to start out with is a very simple one. It's Au. Au translates in Capoeira as cartwheel. And I'm going to do it in several different styles of Au. The first one is going to be a very medium paced Au, just so I can warm up my ligaments a little more, warm up the joints, warm up the muscles and things of this nature, so I can take it to a higher level, because I'm going to have to do Aus that are real fast to produce the power for me to do somersaults. The first is going to be Au from a perspective of just warming up. So. Another thing I'm emphasizing with this particular Au is opening my legs as wide as possible. So that's the idea. Opening the legs as wide as possible. Do 5 more. One more. All right, next Au is going to be Au de cotovelo, or of the elbows, and it's going to be more fast, a lot more momentum, because I don't have the guiding force of my hands behind me, or in this case underneath me, to have a certain level of control. So this one is going to be fast from the perspective of the elbows, and it's very good in the harder when you use this. So I'm going to go. Alright, the next Au is going to be Au with the jump, Au pull-up. And this is ideal for when you're working on the somersaults. And the somersaults in the case where you land with your chest up and you go up in the air. But as a preparation for that, or prep, is you want to jump. You want to do the Au as fast as possible, get the most momentum, and jump up in the air. That's the idea. That's what we're going to be doing. And in this case, I'm not going to be going side to side. I'm going to do it and jump, then go back and do it and jump. This way I concentrate on exactly what I'm doing, which is producing power out of the cartwheel, the Au de Capoeira. Au pull-up. All right, the next one is going to be Au agulha. Au agulha is commonly known as a round-off. A round-off is when you land both feet at the same time. It's a whipping motion. Instead of one leg coming down at the same time, or one leg coming separated from the other leg, both legs come at the same time. Ideally, you're able to get more power out of this, ideally. Okay, so here we go. The next one I'm going to do is called Solta Xango de Capoeira. Soto Shango is basically a back handspring. Another name for it in capoeira is called palhaço. Palhaço translates to clown. So it's like a circus trick it's seen in capoeira. And a lot of the movements are given names that it may be commonly referred or known to society as. So in this case, back handspring, Soto Shango. Flicky is another word because it's flicky. Okay, mine is pretty basic, so it's not going to be a flicky, but it is. I am able to derive power from it. So here we go. Oh, another thing. Also with this one, you have two different types. The one in gymnastics stretches out a lot more because they're on the wrong ways where they have to cover a certain amount of distance. In this sense, the Soto Shango is tighter. Why is it tighter? Because we're capoeiristas. So anytime we do a acrobatic, we want it to fit inside a circle. And a lot of the circles we play in the capoeira, they're very small. So if I do a movement in the roda, I don't want to hit no one. I don't want it to be so wide that it knocks someone out in the roda. So here we go with flicky, palhaço, Soto Shango, or back handspring. Okay, next, I'm going to go over ao de frente. Ao de frente is known in capoeira as the forward walkover. So I'm going to do forward walkovers, and this can be used ideally as an attack as well, not just as an acrobatic. In fact, all the attacks, or all the acrobatics in capoeira can be attacks. It just depends upon your ability to master these different acrobatics and tweak them so that they can be used in a real combat situation to save your life, in the sense of fighting fighting an attacker that may be attacking you, or you may have a car getting ready to come at you, you know, and you have to do a flip to get out the way. So we have so many different ways to look at acrobatics in capoeira, where it's not just to kick someone, it's an evasion, you know, it's a way to set up for an attack. So I may do a full walkover and a person feel like I'm open from doing that, and I'm counting them to have that thinking, well, he's open, so let me attack. And they go in and attack, and I got something set up for them. So it's a way to set up situations where you can, you know, come out on top. Whether it's in the streets, from a level of someone trying to attack you with a knife or a bat, to someone trying to drive you over or run you over with a car. So there's so many different ways, so many different applications. And here we go, ao de frente. One more.
All right.
Just from the kick to spice it up. Next, ao de costa. Ao de costa translates as cartwheel going back. All right, just to give you an example, I went over the regular ao, which is here. Another thing, we're looking at you too. So every acrobatic, you want to look at the opponent. You want to look at the person. You want to always have a high level of awareness with any acrobatic you do, especially in capoeira because it's a martial art. Or it has that martial element to it, where if you're not looking, you do it pretty acrobatic, you come up and you get knocked out. So that's the whole idea. Ao de costa now, going from the back. Like so. The next acrobatic I'm going to go over is called helicopter or helicopter. Helicopter is basically an ao where you twist, you shift into a kick, and you can knock someone out with this kind of force and momentum that this acrobatic presents. So we're going to go over that and do it 3 times because it's extremely it's an extreme kind of twist onto the hips and everything like that. And I haven't done it in a while too, so I'm a little stiff in those areas that it would take the most flexibility to accomplish this acrobatic in the best way. Hopefully you don't see that, you don't see my rustiness, but I am rusty. Here we go. Okay, the next acrobatic is a kick partially. It's partially a kick, and it turns into an acrobatic, or what looks like an acrobatic just at the end. But before I go over that particular movement, I'm gonna go over the base of it, do the base of it a few times, and on each side, and I'm gonna do the technique. It's called Melua Heverson. Melua Heverson translates into a reverse half moon. Okay, reverse half moon is basically when you do the half moon, or the half moon kick, and you bring the other leg to trail around, okay, as a surprise to your opponent, as a way to escape again, and provide yourself with a certain amount of defense based off the flexibility and the motion of this particular technique. But first, I'm going to go over the kick. Here you go. Do a little jingle. Now we're going to do a bunch of movement. Okay, the next acrobatic I'm going to go over is called Au Semao. Just like Au, when you go with the hands, same mao means without hands. Au Semao Capoeira is basically an aerial. Here we go. Next one is going to be Au with the mortal. Mortal is fatal. Okay, the word translates to fatal in the language, okay, of Brazilian Portuguese. Mortal is mortal or fatal or something that can kill you. However, from where I'm from the south side of Chicago, it's known as the note. All the children, I go out to the beach or the park. Can you do a note? Can you do a note? Can you do a note? Notice a no hand backflip, basically a tuck. And I'm going to do that with the power of the Au. And I'm going to translate it into the mortal. Then from there, I'm going to do mortal just by itself. I'm going to do mortal just from standing, so you see the difference in the mortal. Here we go. Let me start from this end. Alright, I said I was going to go over a mortal just from standing. Here you go. Standing. I learned this first, by the way. Back to the middle. Straight up, knees into the chest. Go over. Alright, the next one is going to be a slight variation. It's going to be Au into a salto mortal. Salto mortal is a blade kick, basically. When you come out the tuck, and it's just a leg that's coming over and landing. So okay, the next one is going to be Folha Seca. Folha Seca translates as the dry leaf, because when a leaf comes out of the tree, it's like this. It's not like going straight over, so it's always at an angle. And this particular acrobatic is known for going at an angle. Meaning you go straight over, but it's a slight angle that you turn when you're coming straight over. So it's not like what I just did before where you come straight over and it's a straight blade. Although there are variations that may appear as if it's going over, straight over. Mine's gonna appear that way, but it's really still on an angle. Okay, for your sake, again, dry leaf. And it's also known in gymnastics as a gainer. Gainer is when you jump off one leg and you kick with the other leg and you kick over. All right. One martial artist that makes this particular acrobatic very famous is Tony Jaa. Tony Jaa is able to do so many different variations with this particular acrobatic that it's like unreal what he's able to do. He's able to go up to it, full twist, go into it, do a full twist, kick out of it. I'm not that advanced with it yet. I'm getting there. So here we go with the For Your Sake. Kick it. Jump at the same time. Right to my base. I would like to make one other thing clear in addition to For Your Sake. It being acrobatic, it's also an attack. So the person, and you see Tony Jaa does this, he does this on his movies a lot, where the person will be right behind him, and hit him on the top of the head. So this is an attack. When you go into the harder, let's say the person's going in, you go right here, kick, hits the person, the first or second leg, preferably you want the second leg to hit him, so that you can land, ground your landing. The leg would be like a downward martello attack to the head. So I'm gonna go one more time so you can see the dynamics. Can you get a little closer to me while I do this? I'm not gonna hit you. It's a little closer just so they can see this, what I'm saying. So again, the person is behind me. I could be on the street, whatever. They're talking all this stuff from here. And that's without momentum. That's just kicking right into it. And if I have to put my hands on the floor, whatever, it's worth it because in this case it's an attack. So that's the attacking point of view. But when you want to get more power into it, you want to take your time to wind up and kick over. So we're going to do that kind of game. Wind up. And that way you can land better and have more solid ground consistency upon your land. Okay, next one. We dealt with the For Your Sake. Now on to the next one. It's known as back bronco. Okay, at least that's the first name that I was taught about some b-boys or breakdancers. Said this movement is the back bronco. And I've been seeing this movement on kung fu movies and different things like that. And I said it's a very attractive movement. It look like you go hurt yourself. And actually when I first tried it, I did hurt myself. When I went into it, my knee hit me in the nose and bust my nose. And that's when that was years ago. But since then, I have perfected it, and I'm able to do it now. And basically, it's a drop. It's like you're going into a back handspring, but instead of doing a back handspring, you're going down into a kip position. You kip back up. And in this case, I'm kipping up with my hips straight. I'm not kipping up from a squat. All right. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it a few times. I'm gonna do it from a couple of sequences. All right. So here we go. And let me say this. In capoeira, it's known as mata borão. Mata borão. Mata borão is death fall. Okay, death fall. Here we go. we're nearing the end of this session, and I'm gonna demonstrate a couple of more acrobatics before we hit. We gotta go, we gotta do some things, and you know how things keep going, you know, business here, there, that kind of thing. So the next one is gonna be Amade, which is a kick, into Au Cortado, or Amazonas. Has different names in Capoeira, but it's basically an Au, where you stretch out. I'm gonna do this side, I can do both sides, I'm just do this side just to get it out the way. Then I'll go into the next acrobatic. Here we go, from Jingle. Okay, the next one, the last one that I'm doing here on this mat is going to be known as Heis. Heis translates to roots, so it has a particular name for me that I find endearing. Roots. We're dealing with the roots of something, but it's an aerial movement, and it is an attack and an evasion, just like all of the ones that I've just demonstrated before now. So we go with the Heis.
Following you a lot.
Okay.
And go.